Happy Thursday. Donnie Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. Today's Tech Tip Thursday. Man, I got a good one for you today. I'm actually pulling a module from our Intro to Audio Engineering course. It's a bonus module that you don't really know about until you actually get into the course. Anyway, it's all about speakers, or let's call them studio monitors, and room treatment. I'm going to run a quick video from the module, and I'll come back to you and talk to you at the end. Get ready, here we go. Hey guys, Donnie B, Learn Pro Recording. I'd like to talk to you about speakers and room treatment. Yes, it does make a difference. Studio monitors. Let's start with speakers. Studio monitors. Studio monitors they're the speakers that's enclosed in specifically designed professional audio production applications such as recording studios, filmmaking, television studios. Look, these are the speakers that you get for your studio, okay? The term monitor implies that the speaker is designed to produce relatively flat phase and frequency responses for audio engineers. In other words, it exhibits minimal emphasis and de-emphasis of particular frequencies. The loudspeaker gives an accurate reproduction of the tonal qualities of the source audio, basically uncolored or transparent, and there'll be no relative phase issues or phase shift for particular frequencies. That means there should be no distortion in soundstage perspective. So these basically, dude, studio monitors come in a plethora of sizes, shapes, colors, styles, price points, etc. There's some pretty decent studio monitors available for not a ton of money. Of course, that kind of goes without saying that you might get better results if you spend a little more money on your studio monitors. Studio monitors can be very subjective to the listener. Some people like one brand while other people like another brand. The one common feature that everybody can agree upon is whether your speakers work for you in your space or not. Like I like my old Yamaha NS10M speakers, man, my studio monitors. Some people don't like the NS10s. This is what makes this a complex subject to discuss. We all have our own opinions. Here are the NS10M studio monitors. These are actually what we call, they're actually known as passive speakers, meaning they do not have an amplifier built in. They require an external amplifier to work. Depending on the amp, they can get a great sound and be very flat. They're very flat as the EQ goes. This means that what you hear in these speakers should nicely translate to other mediums. The thing that I like about NS10Ms, and the reason I like NS10s, is that they are consistent. So in other words, I've got NS10s in my Studio B and in my Studio A, and my mixes translate well between the two studios because these speakers are consistent. They sound the same. Yes, I have the same speakers and I have the same amp in both my rooms. So it does make a difference. The amplifier that you put on these will make a difference, but probably not that much that, once you get used to it, you're not even going to notice. So here's the Yamaha HS7 studio monitors. These are active, meaning there's an amplifier built in. They're pretty close to the NS10, the way the NS10 sound, probably closer than anyone's gotten yet. These are amazing. Considering the price, these are great starter set of monitors for any studio for the money. Man, you could pair these with a sub speaker and you'll probably be very happy in your studio for quite a while. The Focal Solo 6 studio monitors, I mean, these are amazing speakers, but they cost $1,500 each. They're super clear and super clean on all the frequencies, and they're a great addition to your studio if you can afford them. You probably can't go wrong. My problem with these is that because they're so expensive, we're a commercial studio, okay? Basically, I hate to say it this way, but some clients, some people that come through here may treat my studio as like a rental car. You know what I mean? You guys understand what I'm saying? So they don't really respect the gear like I do because I paid for it, that kind of thing. And I don't feel good about spending a lot of money on expensive speakers for somebody just to come in here and abuse them. Okay, so I do have in my Studio B, I have some Dynaudios, which they're kind of expensive, but they're not that bad, and I think they're a little bit better than, say, the Yamaha HS8s. Again, look, all of this is an opinion. You guys get the speakers you like. If you like the Focals, if you've got the money to spend on them, please do. I have seen speakers in some bigger studios cost multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're awesome, but I personally don't have, $600,000 laying around to buy speakers. I think I'd rather buy a house. Again, studio monitors are like everything else. They're subject to your taste and how you like to listen. You should spend some time doing research and ask other engineers and producers their opinions. You find what works for your listening pleasure and you go with that. Suppose you feel like having super expensive speakers is for you. Do that. If not, go with what's good for you and your taste. Expensive does not always equal quality. What's more important than your monitors, because of your opinion of monitors, is room treatment. Room treatment, what it does is it calms down the excessive reflections in your room. That's sounds bouncing off of surfaces in your space. Let's discuss. Sounds reflecting around in your room. Okay, here's a diagram. Okay, sounds are coming off of your speakers, and they're coming into your ear directly. That's the little black arrows there. You see the mixed position. So the black arrows are the sound coming directly in. Then the other sounds, the red and the purple and the yellows, are going to bounce off of the other surfaces in the room, and they're going to come back to the mixed position. The problem is that it takes time for these reflections to get from the speaker, bounce off the wall, and come back to your ear. When it does, it's late compared to the direct sound. This is the issue. You're hearing the sounds more than once and at different times, and this is what makes your room sound, crappy. Room treatment is probably the most important thing you can do in the studio. You have to calm down these studios because these frequencies are bouncing around in your space. If you build a studio with all the best gear, super expensive speakers, and you don't treat the space, man, you're wasting your time, effort, energy, and money. Treating the surfaces in your room to avoid frequencies bouncing around is key to having a controlled mix that translates into other spaces. Without room treatment, you're going to get these frequencies bouncing back and forth off hard, flat surfaces, and you're going to hear them more than once. That's the killer, the sound bouncing back and forth. There's many different ways to go about treating your space. Let's discuss a few. Okay, soundproofing. I know it sounds funny. It's the means of reducing the sound pressure. I borrowed this from Wikipedia. Soundproofing is any means of reducing the sound pressure concerning a specified sound source or receptor. These several basic approaches to reducing the sound, increasing the distance between the source and the receiver. Okay, you got to use sound barriers to absorb the energy in the sound waves, using damping structures such as sound baffles, or using an active anti-noise sound generator, like a masking device. I don't like the term soundproofing. It sounds like we're only trying to keep sounds in or out. I prefer the term room treatment. I mean, soundproofing is what you do to your basement when you don't want the neighbors to hear the screams of when you kidnap people and chop them up to make sausage. Sorry, I guess I watch too many horror movies. Maybe I do. But those are acoustic panels so that no sound can get out. The acoustic wall treatments in a studio will reduce the reflections of the surface and then back to your ear. Yeah, there's a lot of math and science involved here, and probably some algebra and geometry. And you thought you'd never use those things in real life. Your middle school teacher was right. You can search YouTube and other sites for information on how the math works and how to calculate the reflections in your space and things like that, but I'm certainly not the sciencey type. If I try it and it works, perfect, I'm done. How does it sound? That's my thing. This is the question you should be asking. How are my mixes translating to other mediums, like the car test? Okay, some frequencies bounce more and easier than others. Some frequencies will just gather in the corners, like the lower frequencies. There are different types of absorbers depending on the frequencies that you're trying to wrangle. Higher frequencies require a more dense absorbing surfaces, where mid-frequencies need a more porous absorber, maybe a diffusion panel. A diffusion panel breaks up the sound wave so that it won't bounce. It makes it harder to bounce back to your ears. Lower frequencies, such as sub-frequencies, will congregate in the corners. So it really helps if you thought about getting rid of the corners of bass trap. Basically, cut the corners off. Again, search Google and YouTube for any information about DIY sound absorbers and bass traps. So suppose you just cover your walls with acoustic foam panels. It's kind of like killing all the sounds from moving around at all. Remember the movie Hustle and Flow? Man, they just covered all their walls with all those cardboard egg crates. Yeah, it kind of works. And it's not the greatest room treatment, but it's better than nothing. What you want to do is maybe figure out which frequencies are moving too much and which frequencies are not moving enough, and find that sweet spot. Sure, you can use trial and error, your room treatment, and see how it sounds when you check the mixes in the car, but that might take multiple times of trying and seeing where things are each time. Just take a minute to get it right. You could hire an acoustic specialist to come out and measure each spot in your room and give you a detailed report of where you have trouble areas for the reflections. But dude, that sounds expensive. So here's a picture of actually my Studio B. Notice the acoustic panels on the side wall. That's the one with the little guitar sitting on the top of it. There's a couple of them. These are simple panels made of an absorbing material known as rock wool. I'm not a big fan of the fiberglass stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I just don't like the fiberglass. I feel like there's some like molecules of fiberglass running around in the air or something when that happens. Well, you can actually buy rock wool at your local hardware store. There's tons of videos on YouTube and on how to DIY these panels. Okay. Also notice the absorbing materials behind the speakers on the desk. Those basically keep the sound of the speaker from bouncing off the wall, and it seems to work for me. Okay, the fastest way to treat your room is to do a little research on sites like YouTube, maybe a blog site like recordingexpert.com. Call your local studio equipment dealer and see if they recommend anybody local that you can ask about your particular space and how to treat it. You can always check some DIY sites and try things that you feel like might work. Man, even if you just put your microphone between some pillows on the couch in the living room and sing into it, you'll do better than if you have no room treatment at all. Get creative. Man, when we first started experimenting with recording vocals, we would use the closet with all the clothes. We'd leave all the clothes in it. We would just push the clothes aside to make room for the mic and record it. So if you have not yet discovered our Learn Pro Recording YouTube channel, go right now and search for it on YouTube. There's just a ton of content on our YouTube channel about this sort of thing, building and growing your studio. That's kind of what we're all about here, and we love to share. If you ever have any questions or need extra help with anything in particular, you can always reach out to me here, info@learnprorecording.com. Look, I look forward to hearing from you. You can always leave a comment here in the program, and I definitely try to read all the comments and comment on those here in the program. Hey, I appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully you guys got something out of this module. We'll see you on the next one. My name is Donnie B. I'm out. Peace. Hey, hopefully you got some value out of learning about speakers and room treatment. This is one of the modules from our Introduction to Audio Engineering course, which you find the full course inside of our membership. Now you can go to learnprorecording.com/membership1 to learn more about how our membership and community works. I gotta say, it's quite awesome and it's super cheap. It's super not expensive. To have access to not only all the courses, we have the Introduction to Audio Engineering course, the Advanced Audio Engineering course, and the Audio Business Building Academy, plus monthly masterclasses, monthly workshops, monthly masterminds, monthly group coaching calls. The list goes on and on and on. And to top all that off, you're actually in the community with your peers for accountability. You can check mixes, you can share templates, you share plugins. Dude, the community is where it's at. I mean, you know what they say, man. You come for the membership, stay for the community. Let me know if you have any specific questions. You can reach me at info@learnprorecording.com. Shoot me an email or just leave me a comment down below here in the YouTube video. Hey, while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe, click. It doesn't take that much, doesn't cost you anything, and you get notified when these cool videos come up. So hey, I appreciate you hanging out with me for these few minutes, and we'll see you on the next one. Donnie B, I'm out.